Derek Chisora may be facing more danger than fans realize, and the latest fight news has sent shockwaves through the boxing world. On the surface, it looks like just another tough matchup, but insiders are raising serious concerns. While Chisora is praised for durability and heart, questions about timing, where, and risk are growing louder. The contrast between his warrior reputation and the reality of repeated wars is unsettling. Behind the headlines are details that change everything, forcing fans to ask, is this a bold challenge or a step too far at the wrong moment? So boxing fans, we need to talk, because something serious is brewing in the heavyweight division, and it involves one of the toughest, most fearless warriors this sport has ever seen. Derek Chisora, a man who has never backed down, never ducked a challenge, and never cared about odds or danger. But today, the conversation is different. Today, people across the boxing world are asking the same unsettling question. Is Derek Chisora in real danger right now? Over the past few days, shocking fight news has started to surface. And the more you dig into it, the more worrying it becomes. This isn't just about another tough matchup. This isn't just about Chisora being Chisora. This feels different. This feels like a moment where the line between bravery and risk is being dangerously blurred. Let's rewind for a second. Derek Chisora has built his entire career on chaos, on pressure, on war. From fighting the likes of Tyson Fury not once, not twice, but 3 times, to going toe-to-toe with Dillian Whyte in brutal slugfests, to standing in front of Alexander Usyk and refusing to take a step back. Chisora doesn't fight safe. He never has. And that's exactly why fans love him. But here's the problem. Chisora has taken a lot of punishment over the years. And when we say a lot, we mean a frightening amount. We're talking about countless rounds at heavyweight, eating shots from some of the hardest punchers on the planet. Wars that thrilled fans, yes, but also wars that take something out of a fighter every single time. Now, according to recent reports and insider whispers, Chisora is being lined up for another high-risk fight. And not just high risk in terms of losing, high risk in terms of damage, high risk in terms of long-term health. The opponent being discussed is younger, fresher, faster, and most importantly, extremely dangerous. People close to the situation are quietly saying that this could be one fight too far. And that's not coming from haters. That's not coming from casual fans. That's coming from boxing insiders who have watched Chisora's career closely and understand exactly what the human body can and cannot take. Let's be real for a moment. Derek Chisora has never been a defensive wizard. His style has always relied on toughness, forward pressure, and sheer will. That works when you're younger. That works when your reflexes are sharp and your chin recovers quickly. But as fighters age, the first thing to go isn't power. It's reaction time. It's punch resistance. It's the ability to roll with shots instead of absorbing them clean. And that's where the danger lies. Reports suggest that this potential opponent is a heavy-handed knockout artist. Someone who doesn't waste punches. Someone who thrives against aggressive fighters who come forward with their guard high and their chin exposed. On paper, it's an exciting matchup. On paper, it sells tickets. But inside the ring, it could be a nightmare scenario. We've already seen signs in recent fights that Chisora isn't the same fighter he once was. His heart is still there. His courage is still there. But the durability, that's starting to show cracks. In his last few outings, he's been dropped more frequently, hurt more visibly. And while he's still finding ways to push through, boxing is a sport where pushing through too long can have devastating consequences. Some fans are saying, this is Derek Chisora. He knows what he's doing. And sure, that's true to an extent. Fighters are proud. Fighters are warriors. But fighters also don't always know when it's time to stop. History has shown us that again and again. Think about the legends who stayed just a little too long. Think about the damage they took at the end of their careers. Think about the regrets that followed. Now here's where the situation gets even more concerning. Apparently, Chisora himself is pushing for this fight. He wants it. He believes he can still compete at the highest level. He believes one big win puts him right back into the title conversation, or at least sets him up for a massive payday. And from a business perspective, you can understand it. Heavyweight boxing pays. Big names sell. But at what cost? There are people in boxing circles saying that this is the kind of fight that could end very badly. Not just a loss. Not just a knockout. But the kind of beating that changes a fighter forever. The kind that leaves fans silent instead of cheering. And that's why the word danger keeps coming up. Because this isn't about legacy anymore. Derek Chisora's legacy is already secure. He's a fan favorite. A gatekeeper who never played the villain quietly. A man who gave us unforgettable nights. This is about whether continuing down this road is worth the risk. Another alarming detail that's been discussed is the timing. Chisora hasn't had a long recovery period between fights. At his age, rest matters. Healing matters. Letting the body reset matters. Jumping straight into another brutal training camp and another high-impact fight could be pushing things too far. Some fans are even calling for Chisora's team to step in and protect him. To say no. To think long-term. Because sometimes, the people around a fighter need to make the hard decisions that the fighter himself won't. But boxing doesn't always work like that. Promoters see opportunity. Broadcasters see ratings. And fighters see one more chance to prove everyone wrong. And let's not forget, Derek Chisora has made a career out of proving people wrong. That's what makes this story so complicated. Because part of you believes he can still pull it off. Part of you remembers the nights he shocked the world with his grit and refusal to quit. And part of you wonders if doubting him is a mistake. But another part of you can't ignore the warning signs. The punishment. The age. The style. The opponent. This feels like one of those moments in boxing where excitement and concern collide. Where fans are hyped for the action but nervous about the outcome. Where entertainment clashes with responsibility. And here's the most chilling part. If this fight goes ahead and something goes wrong, everyone will say the same thing afterward. They'll say, "We saw this coming." They'll say, "Why didn't anyone stop this?" They'll say, "He gave everything, but it was too much." Nobody wants that. Derek Chisora deserves respect. He deserves admiration. And most importantly, he deserves to walk away from boxing healthy enough to enjoy the rest of his life. The question now is whether this shocking fight news represents one last heroic stand, or a dangerous gamble that shouldn't be taken. So I want to know what you think. Is Derek Chisora still capable of one more big moment? Or is this fight putting him in serious danger? Should his team pull the plug, or should they trust the Warriors' instincts one last time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is a conversation the boxing world needs to have. And trust me, this story is far from over.